Are we rolling? Okay, here we go. Thank you for doing this interview with us, Erica. I understand you're a very busy woman.
Yes, but I don't mind. People have to know. I had to know.
Now, tell me, why did you decide to do this topic?
People always said that money bought happiness.
Does it?
No.
You thought it was all over. You thought it was safe. You thought the tears would stop. You thought there couldn't be anything worse than the 2008 recession. You thought wrong.
Money, it brought empires down on its knees, but makes the world go round. Some say that money is the root of all evil, but others, living on a student's budget, would be glad to rid you of such evil. Money itself is a very tricky thing to understand. Our economic textbook defines money as anything that is easily and generally accepted in exchange for goods or services, and uses money and currency interchangeably. Currency is any form of money that is in public circulation. For example, cowrie shells was used as money for a long period of time, but is no longer considered currency. But what makes money money? Is it the shininess? Is it the emblemed animal that we've nearly made extinct? Or is it simply because it buys a lot of Shrek? There are 6 requirements for something to be considered money: acceptability, durability, divisibility, portability, uniformity, and limited supply. I'll demonstrate why these are essential with a little help. Meet Little Kid.
Hi!
Little Kid is an average 10-year-old child with an unfortunate name who really wants to ride the steel dragon. This is Big Kid, the attendant. They're not related.
What's up?
We'll start with the first one. Acceptability. Transaction of money can only exist if it is used by the general population. In this case, Little Kid has to give Big Kid a ticket to be able to ride the steel dragon. Unless Big Kid accepts the paperclip, a wad of gum, lint, a strand of hair, or a G6, Little Kid is unable to ride the roller coaster. Because a lot of people will be using money, it also has to be durable. If Big Kid accepts the lint, it has no durability, so he can't use it again. Divisibility is also considered because money has to be able to be divided into smaller units. Portability allows money to be easily transported. Money also has to have the same purchasing power throughout society, therefore uniformity is vital. Limited supply means that the circulation of the money is restricted to ensure that the value stays. Fortunately, Little Kid has earlier stolen a ticket from an unsuspecting stranger. You can also remember the 6 requirements as ADPUL, or ADDPUL for short.
Today, there are 4 types of money. Commodity money consists of naturally scarce metals or items thought to be of value. It is historically used longer than any other types of money. One of the most common commodity money had been gold. In most modern economies, commodity money has been replaced by fiat money, whose value had been issued by the government and not by its own value. The slip of paper used to make a $100 bill is not worth $100, but the government deemed the value to be $100.
Legal tender, also known as representative money or fiduciary money, is our everyday coins and bills and therefore cannot be refused as payment for debt. Checks and banknotes also count as legal tender.
The last type of money is commercial bank money or demand deposits. Demand deposits refer to funds held in demand deposit accounts, like checking accounts in commercial banks. These account balances form most of the money supply, the total amount of money available in the economy at a particular point in time.
Once upon a time, a long, long time ago, we had a bartering system, which is the exchange of personal possessions of the value for other goods. In a bartering system, both parties must want the respective things, which sometimes are impossible due to the unforeseen circumstances or the availability of the items. For example, if Serena had guns but wanted corn, she'd have to wait until the harvest season and find a person who will want guns. The transaction can't exist without another person's wants. Let's say she meets Nong.
Yo, what's up?
So Nong is a nice girl. She likes pulling bullets and things, but had only corn, so they exchanged their goods. That's how bartering works. From 9000 to 6000 BC, people traded with livestock, and as agriculture developed, people used crops for barter. The monetary system, a system using anything that is accepted as a standard value and measure of wealth, was thought to be first originated from the usury of cowrie shells, which lasted until the early 20th century. In 500 BC, the silver coins imprinted with various gods and emperors began to circulate through using other items was still popular. During the 9th century AD, a practice of cutting noses of those careless in paying taxes became popular in Denmark. Other substitutes include alcohol, cigarettes, salt, candy, and more. All these items were considered commodity money. The first actual paper currency used in money came from China because everything is made in China. Banks started issuing paper notes or banknotes until one time there was 5,000 different banknotes issued by different banks. Notes from credible large banks were accepted by the general population, while notes from smaller banks were accepted locally. These notes were gradually replaced by government-issued notes. In 1816, England made a gold a benchmark standard after a period of severe inflation. The value of currency was now pegged to a certain number of ounces of gold. This will help prevent inflation of the currency. A lot of European countries as well as the US switched to the gold standard. However, by the late 1900s, most developed countries switched indefinitely to fiat money as opposed to only using it during war. Currently, coins, bills, checks, and financial credit are all considered money.
Money is a matter of functions for a medium, a measure, a standard, a store. Only when a currency is stable can money serve all four functions. Medium of exchange is anything that can easily and readily accepted by society in exchange for the output and evades the double coincidence of wants dilemma. Whatever item is chosen must be able to meet and satisfy these requirements. Constant utility, low cost of preservation, transportability, divisibility, high market value in relation to volume and weight, recognizability, and resistance to counterfeiting. Medium is historically the most problematic due to counterfeiting. Measure, which is also known as unit of account or standard value, is the standard numerical value of measurements of goods and services. It is extremely useful for meaningful interpretation of price, cost, and profit for businesses and improves the efficiency of market economies. Over time, measure varies for money due to inflation or other changes in the market which lowers or rises the value of money. Money must be easily divisible, fungible, and a specific weight and measure or size. Standard of deferred payment is the accepted way of settling a debt and depends heavily on the enforceability of debts and the law. It is not as commonly used as the other functions, and as a result is the most controversial of all functions.
but I still wish I was a billionaire.
Be more wistful.
Boy Wonder, COSSON.
Cut me off, those bloody sons of...
Girls all different flavors. I buy Gucci, I buy Prada, I spend dollar after dollar.
Okay, go.
I get money, I get paper, I get girls all different.
Whoa! Whoa! What? You want some girls?
Do they come with fries? I forgot. Damn it. Pause.